Hey there guys, Portal Master 9351 here, and in this video, I want to talk about the Skylanders that I would like to see in Skylanders 6. So when I was initially going to make this video, I started thinking, well, who are my favorite Skylanders that I would want to see in Skylanders 6? But we're not going to talk about it that way. We're rather going to talk about characters I don't want to see in Skylanders 6, and you can infer that every other character I do want to see in Skylanders 6, and I have a pretty simple system of logic. Now, this is going to turn more into a rant of how reposes have been handled in the past, but I think that it's the easiest way to explain my thoughts, and I think it's something that I've been needing to say for a long time. So, as to say, no reposes. Nothing wrong there. All original 32 characters. No problems. Giants. 8 Giants, 8 new characters, 8 light cores, and 24 reposes. So there were 8 figures from Spyro's Adventure that did not get reposed, and those were Voodoo, Boomer, Ghost Roaster, and Camo, Warnado, and Dino Rang, Whamshell, and Sunburn. Those were the 8 that never got reposed, at least in Giants. They were called the Forgotten 8 for a while. There was no problems there, really. In my opinion, there could have been fewer reposes, I think, and it would have still been fine. There could have been 2 sets, 2 per element. Not a huge fan of the way they handled light cores in that game. It's not a huge problem, but I honestly think that instead of having a light core Drobot, Prison Break, Hex, and Eruptor, it should have been a light core Boomer, Dino Rang, Ghost Roaster, and Sunburn, or they could have swapped out other characters and made them light core instead. Those could have been Series 2s, and some other characters like, let's just say, Drobot could have still been, a light core, in my opinion, and Boomer could have just gotten a Series 2. I'm just not a fan that there were 2 sets of reposes for certain characters like, Drobot, Prison Break, Hex, and Eruptor. The way they handled the light cores for the new characters, that was fine, although the honest truth is that they didn't make those new light core characters. If they had just gone with 24 Series 2s and 8 light cores, they could have reposed all 32 original SSA characters, and they would have been perfectly fine. In all honesty. Swap Force, though, is where I really start to take the issue with things. Out of the 16 reposes, 12 of them are from Spyro's Adventure, and, 4 of them, of course, are from Giants. The 4 from Giants that got reposes were Pop Fizz, Chill, Jetvac, and Sprocket. So that meant that there were now additional forgotten characters. Now, Shroom Boom, and, Shroom Boom, and, Flashwing, not technically speaking. I'll go over that in a second. So, who didn't, okay, I'm getting kind of disoriented here. It would have been, I'm losing myself. I'm losing my mind. I'm losing my mind. I think we can all expect that. It was Shroom Boom. It was Fright Rider, and those were the only 2 that got forgotten. Because, no. I'm sorry. Hold on. Let me come back and I'll have this figured out. My cards on that wall are messing me up. I don't have every single Giants character. I don't have Hot Dog, so that was throwing me off. The 2 that got forgotten in Swap Force were Fright Rider and Shroom Boom. Those did not get reposes, then they were in Giants. So they were thus forgotten. But there were now some characters that got unforgotten because Whamshell and Warnado got reposes as well as, or became light cores, and Camo became a Series 2. So at this point there were 7 forgotten characters. Not a humongous issue, but really the way it should have worked is that they shouldn't have reposed those that are, there shouldn't have been Series 3s in Swap Force. That's the part that gets me. There should not have been Series 3s in Swap Force. Let me take a sip of water. Shouldn't have been. Because if they had just done with 2 sets of reposes, they could have light cored whoever the heck they wanted to light core, and they could have reposed the 8 from Giants and the Forgotten 8. And boom, you've solved the problem. Every single character in existence up until the new landers from Swap Force and the Giants characters, of course, the gimmick characters, would have gotten reposes, and you wouldn't have gotten this forgotten mess. Now, I understand that this would have made the reposes predictable, because you would have known, hey, it's the 8 new landers from Giants, and it's the Forgotten 8. So you would have known right off the bat, okay, we're going to get a Wham Shell repos and stuff. We would have known that day one. Except for the fact that instead of, like, they could have just said, we're gonna repose the 8 from Giants and the 8 from the Forgotten 8 from SSA, but we're not gonna show you their reposes, show you their name, let you know anything about them until later. So it's like we would have known that there was gonna be a Series 2 Fright Rider. We just wouldn't have known what he was gonna look like, do, or anything. We just would have known that, hey, there's gonna be another one. No problems with that. It does not expose any information that would be, you know, too much information. It doesn't reveal too much information. Trap Team, though, is where the huge issue comes in. There were, in Swap Force, there were 7 forgotten characters. In Trap Team, however, this is where I really take issue with the repose system. That's where I really do. Trap Team, there were 5 reposes, which the first issue is there were 5 reposes and not 8 reposes. That was the first issue with that. The other issue is that you alienated so many characters. You reposed Pop Fizz. Let me turn around because I don't have these guys, so I can't name them off the top of my head. You got Fizzy Frenzy Pop Fizz. You got Tidal Wave Gilgrunt. You got Hog Wild Frino. You got Sure Shot Shroom Boom. And you got Full Blast Jetvac. Now, out of those, you got a Series 3, a Series 4, a Series 2, a Series 2, and a Series 3. So, there are only 2 Series 2s here. Shroom Boom and Frino. So, there were 7 in Swap Force, but now you've given Shroom Boom a repose, so you go down to 6, and so, but then you have to account for the 16 Swap Force core characters. So, you take the 6, and you add 16, and you get 22, minus 1 Frino. Okay, so you're at 21. And, the minis, yes, sorry guys, got cut off there. But as I was saying, the minis, they don't help at all. The minis are so, they don't make any sense. All of them are the existing 8 that were already characters that had been reposed. None of the original minis were the Forgotten 8. And of course, the others were Giants originally. And so they didn't get reposed. So it's not like that helped in any way. And plus, they were exactly identical. They had nothing new about them. It really doesn't make sense when you think about it. You've got 21 forgotten characters at this point. 21 forgotten characters. Superchargers, once again, does not fix this problem. You take the 21 and you add the 18 to it. So that would be 21 plus, okay, that's 39 forgotten characters. And you unforget one of them by reposing Roller Brawl. So you go down to 38. So, you've got 38 characters that have never even been reposed before. And it's possible that the idea of the introduction of Superchargers is to fix that problem so they don't add to more forgotten characters and so they can eventually get all of these guys reposed at some point and get them, brought up to speed. But 38 characters that have never been reposed. And it's just so dumb to have 38 characters that have never been reposed, meanwhile, you repose Gilgrunt again, and Jetvac again, and Stealth Elf again, and Pop Fizz again, and Trigger Happy again, and Terrafin again, and Eruptor again. 7 of the 8 characters in Superchargers were characters that already have reposes. But there's 38 characters that don't have reposes. Where is the logic in that? Where is your logic, Activision? So, who do I want to be reposed? Any of the 38 characters. Who are they at this point? Well, at this point, if you count the Eon's Elites, they are not that bad. It's not as many, but mostly the characters are. Let me just make sure I've been counting right this whole time, because I may have been screwing up my counting. I'm kind of out of it right now. So, Sunburn has never been reposed in any way, shape, or form. Eon's Elites are counting at this point, and Voodoo, Voodoo, Boomer, Dino Rang, and Ghost Roaster got Eon's Elites, so they're good now. But, so we got Sunburn, We've got Fright Rider. We've got, let's see, so there's only 2. The only one from SSA is Sunburn. The only one from Giants is Fright Rider. From Swap Force, this is where it gets crazy. You've got Starstrike, Dunebug, Riptide, Punk Shock, Popthorn, Scratch, Zulu, Bumbleblast, Wind Up, Countdown, Scorp, Slobbertooth, Grim Creeper, Smolderdash. So 16, once you get to Swap Force. From Trap Team, then you go from 16 to, let's see, Echo, Flipwreck, Fling Kong, Blades, Food Fight, High Five, Deja Vu, Cobra Kadabra, Chopper, Treadhead, Funny Bone, Bat Spin, Rocky Roll, Fist Bump, Torch, Trailblazer, and Spotlight and Blackout. 34. So 34 characters, not 38, because of Eon's Elites. Why? Why? So any of those characters I just named would be absolutely wonderful to be in the next game. And I think that, if I'm really hoping that we don't get any more reposes of characters we've already seen. I don't have a problem personally with Series 3s. I have no issues with those. In Swap Force, we didn't need them though. That's the easiest way I have to put it. In Trap Team, we could have had Series 3s. In Superchargers, if they had done Series 3s, we could have had figures. I guess I should start saying figures for the 3rd time, rather, is the best way to put it. Because, I don't have any issue with that. But when you take a character like Pop Fizz or Jetvac that have been reposed, or Gilgrunt that have been reposed every single time, in every single game, yeah, it's an issue. When you go out of your way to create 5 reposes in Trap Team just so you can give Gilgrunt another repose, and give Jetvac another repose, and give Pop Fizz another repose, yeah, there's something crazy going on here. I get that they say they're fan favorites, but I honestly don't buy into that. I think it's just Activision executives are like, I like this character. Let's put him in the game. I like this character. Let's put him in the game. If they came back and they said, you're getting Double Trouble, I'd be fine with that. I'd be fine with getting a 3rd Double Trouble. That would be perfectly good. But I just don't want these characters to be constantly reposed. But that being said, give Fright Rider a repose. Give Sunburn a repose. So yeah, this has been much of a rant video, but I do feel that this stuff needed to be said. Anyways, that's all I really have for you guys today. We should be getting some Skylanders news incredibly soon as next week, and I am so hyped up for that. I've got to do a couple more speculatory videos. And then I guess I'll shift back to doing some Skylanders Showdown, and maybe some other filler content, just until we actually can get some news. But anyways, that's all I have for you guys today. This has been Portal Master 9351. Remember to like, comment, subscribe, and I'll see you guys next time. Goodbye!